we're collaborating today and discussing the ketogenic diet. It's a hot topic. I get a lot of questions from my clients about it. People want to lose weight fast. They're seeing a lot of people jump on this ketogenic bandwagon. So I did a little bit of my research and I found some differing information. And so I went straight to the source, which is Ally. She's very well educated, science-based background. And so I just wanted to find out your take on ketogenic diet. Is it good for us? Is it bad? How does it work? So if you just want to go into that.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing I like to really cover is, what is ketosis and ketogenic dieting? Because I think right now it's such a popular topic because it's a lot of past diets like Atkins and South Beach wrapped in different labels. And I think then it resurfaces, right? And now we have, the keto diet. And at the end of the day, it's simply a low carb diet. Okay. That's what it's always been. But the first thing that I really like to talk to people about is what happens inside your body. I really want to explain our Krebs cycle, our energy cycle, because I think this really helps people understand the nutrients that they need in their daily meal plan. And basically inside of our cells, in order for us to create energy, we have 3 components that are going to be used for that. Okay. Protein, carbohydrates, and fats. When those enter the cell, right, and now we're going to talk about our Krebs cycle because this is now basically going to go around and create ATP, which we know is energy. It goes ahead around the wheel, and carbohydrates are actually responsible for spinning this wheel, okay? So the first thing I like to focus on is protein, carbohydrate, and fat are used in your cells to create energy. You're made of those 3. Why would you cut them out? Number 1, okay? Number 2, I want to explain what happens when you do cut one out, like carbohydrates, for example, because ketosis, like I said, is low-carb dieting. What happens is these nutrients go into our cells, into a compound that we call acetyl-CoA, okay? Now it's going to go ahead and it's going to go around this wheel to go ahead and create energy. Carbohydrates are responsible for spinning this wheel. They're going to hit a certain compound. I'm not going to get too science geeky here with all the names. But basically, once there's not enough carbohydrate, this compound becomes depleted. And now the acetyl-CoA needs to go somewhere, okay? Otherwise, you're not going to survive. So instead of it continuing on to produce ATP, it now starts to produce ketone bodies to start fueling your brain and fueling bodily function. So the first thing I like to point out is it's a survival mechanism. It's not optimal function. Otherwise, that would be the first process in the body, right? It's an adaptation. And now we're going to go ahead and transfer into ketone bodies.
Gotcha.
Okay?
So that's what we're using. We're using the ketone bodies in order to get energy, which isn't our first source. Our first source wants to use carbohydrates, but because those are gone, we're now using fat. Correct.
Exactly. Okay. Yes, and to some degree. So the second thing I like to really focus on is when I'm talking to people about it, because I think now kind of our audience is, sports and fitness nutrition. There are some things where we've seen clinically to where maybe a ketogenic diet is appropriate in certain medical conditions. But I think our average people, you and I, in the field of sports and fitness nutrition are looking to do what? Put on muscle mass. They want to tone up. They want to lean out. Now, what happens in your body? Well, carbohydrates are your main principal source of fuel. Okay, your brain needs to survive, your body needs to function. When it doesn't have enough, I think sometimes a myth that people think is that all of a sudden your body's using all fat. Not necessarily true. Your body's always using carbohydrate and fat as a fuel source, but dependent upon your lifestyle, your activity level, what state of intensity you're in, your body starts to shift. For example, when you're going into the gym and you're lifting and you're doing maybe more high intensity training or intervals, your body wants to use more carbohydrate. And I think the myth would be some people say, okay, well, that's not there. It's going to start eating away from my fat. Not necessarily true because fats take a little bit longer to oxidize and use for energy. So if your body needs something readily available like that and carbohydrates are not, it's going to start now pulling from your protein. Pulling
so
from your
muscle.
Exactly, from that hard-earned muscle. And what happens long term is you could see muscle loss, which does what? Inhibits fat loss. Okay, so what
muscle atrophy and
absolutely. So I say long term, in comparing to just a lifestyle to where, you want to be fit, toned, and defined. I always encourage people, you need all 3 nutrients from what I just explained. And there's more, a plethora of functions, of course. And what's going to determine is really just the amounts. And it doesn't mean that you need to be on a very high carb diet. You can still be on a lower carb diet. It totally depends on your lifestyle, genetics,
There's so many things that
Absolutely.
go into it. And my background is
Mhm.
a bio-individual diet that I prescribe my clients. So it is based on so many factors, how active they are,
Mhm.
what part of the, their heritage and how old they are, and if their body does better on carbohydrates or fats. But I always implement all three into a
Mhm.
diet plan for people because I advocate for a lifestyle that has lasting results. So what I'm
Mhm.
seeing now is people are all about this ketogenic diet. Oh my gosh, I've lost so much weight, so much fat. I'm eating all the bacon and all the cheese and all the goodies. And I'm seeing these great results. But what are the lasting, effects of that? I've heard of hormone imbalances with
Mhm.
women, low energy. I've heard
Mhm.
men that have great energy in it and they do well on it. So I think it
Right.
also differs with men and women, but it is definitely something that is a short term, maybe quick fix, but
Mhm.
not really what we advocate for.
Right. And I think
So,
you just kind of hit it because anything, I'll first say, you do anything new, you're going to see results, right? You
mhm,
introduce anything new, your body's going to start to see something. With the ketogenic diet, I think something else to note is that initially, you usually see the scale moves quickly. And
mhm.
and some of that is actually a lot of water loss
Water. I
because for
remember you
every
saying
pound
that.
of glycogen, which is stored carbohydrate, you have about 3 to 4 grams of water
Mhm.
attached to it. So
Okay.
once you lose, say, 1 pound, okay, 1 pound of glycogen loss equates to about 3 to 4 grams approximately of water. So
Mhm.
the point is, once that carbohydrate starts to deplete in your body, you're also losing water weight. And like you just hit it home, lifestyle. My suggestion is get into a lifestyle that's going to work for you. Doesn't mean you have to be really high carb, but you need to find a
Mhm.
balance that's appropriate for your
For
genetics,
you. Mhm.
lifestyle, and activity level. And then long term, I mean, to be honest, let's call it what it is. Most people that do ketogenic dieting properly turn into skinny fat long term.
Mhm.
And I will say that in the fitness world, obviously, I see a lot of controversy. And if we're going to call a spade here, some people that are, huge and they're ripped and, they say, hey, it's
Ketogenic
ketogenic
this, and I'm
dieting.
promoting this ketogenic product because there's a lot out there.
Absolutely. But a lot of them are on steroids and
Mhm.
anabolics,
Yep.
which of course, when you put that into your body, first of all, it can interfere with carbohydrate metabolism. So you may not look as good now on a high carbohydrate diet, but also it's now taking the place of certain protein because you have an anabolic in your body. So you're able to build lean muscle mass. You're not going to get that skinny fat look.
Mhm.
You're going to continue to grow and see those gains.
Because
Now,
you have
exactly.
that X factor, that edge that
You
people
have,
don't like to
right.
talk about.
Yeah, or say,
Or
but
say,
let's
but
just
it's
be honest
there. Let's
about
be
it.
honest. Yes.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
definitely there are, like you said, some long-term effects of being
Mhm.
on a ketogenic diet that aren't ideal. So we're promoting a lifestyle,
Mhm.
taking care of our bodies. I am a huge advocate for healthy fats. I
Mhm.
think that, our bodies aren't great on sugar,
Mhm.
on simple carbohydrates. I think complex carbohydrates are
Mhm.
great. Its timing is everything, putting them around active parts of the day.
Absolutely.
My body responds well when I add some complex carbohydrates. I actually lean out, but I'm huge on fats, healthy fats. So when I see people on this ketogenic diet that are like, yes, all the bacon and all the
Yeah.
cheese, I'm like, well, let's do it properly. And I've done some research. Mark Sisson with Primal is pretty well known in the ketogenic world, and he seems to be doing it pretty properly. He has big salads with protein. He gets a lot of great nutrients in his diet.
Mhm.
So I think it takes, if you are going to do a ketogenic diet, doing it for a shorter period of time and doing it correctly. Doing your research because there's a lot out there, making sure that it's from a reputable source. And none other than Ally. She's a great source for us to help explain the ketogenic diet.
Yeah, and just like you said, you're right. If it's, a proper, ketogenic diet, you'd want to include good healthy fats, which,
Hmm.
everybody needs for especially us ladies for our hormones,
Hmm.
right? That's going to help
Great
with
for
the
your
balance.
skin, hair. I
Absolutely.
mean, I'm all about avocado, coconut
Mhm.
oil, nut butters. I mean, there's a plethora of healthy fats out there. I think like healthy fats are where it's at.
Sure,
And
no,
I don't
definitely.
necessarily think that that's a fad. I think that it's here to stay is if we're choosing the correct healthy fats and pairing it with, adequate carbohydrates from
Mhm.
vegetables, fruits. It's all about whole foods to us.
Yes, and I would also just say keep in mind too much of anything is never a good thing.
Hmm.
So even when you're going super high fat for you long term, what are you really looking at? Well, we do know
Exactly.
that your body uses all 3 nutrients. So why would you pull one or more of those out?
Completely out.
And yeah, exactly.
Very low on the ketogenic.
And another thing too that I'll tap on quickly, just in the sports nutrition world, is that carbohydrates in your body have a protein sparing effect, what we call it. And what that means is that when carbohydrates are doing their job, instead of protein trying to compensate for certain things that carbohydrates aren't doing anymore because they're not there, it then doesn't have the ability to do what it should do. And a lot of our new latest, literature on sports nutrition, protein intake is continuing to go up and up. And we're seeing that's, your immune function. That's every cell in your body functions on protein. But as far as seeing muscle growth, repair, and seeing that muscle tone and definition, you want protein to be able to do its job and give you those fitness results you're looking for, instead of having to compensate for, let me pull all the carbs out.
And they say, I heard a great quote, or I read it somewhere, that any diet works, and it's because it's about consistency. You're pulling out something that you haven't been doing before, so you're going to see those immediate results if you stick to a diet for 21 days, you make it a habit, but is it the right diet for you? So I know my personal take on diet and what works. For me, it's a balance. It's a balanced diet that's customized to each person, each client, and it does have healthy fats, complex carbohydrates, healthy, lean proteins, and just sticking to whole foods, not sticking to many processed things, may not, supplementing a ton of things in our diet that are missing. So what would you say when, I get a call in saying, I just want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. What do I do? What would your recommendation be?
Your recommendation is always something you can stick to, and you want to be in a lifestyle, because you know what? The industry makes money off of yo-yo diets, and that's exactly what these are.
It's a $64 billion industry.
Exactly.
Is the weight loss industry. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, so you're going to lose weight quickly, but then in a couple months, my desire is not for you then to not know how to be in a lifestyle and then put all that back on plus some. So I would say, and I think you kind of nailed it, is nutrition is just so much more than include this, include that. There is science behind the type of carbohydrates, the good carbs. Yes, there are carbs that are going to have you gain weight, and there's also very good carbs that are, high in fiber. They're going to keep your blood sugar steady, and you're actually going to have, you should see increased energy. You're going to have better workouts, which is going to do what? Give you better results. So, always my advice is finding a good balance that's going to work for you, but get into a lifestyle as something that you're going to stick to. I find as well quickly that a lot of people that pull out a lot of carbohydrates right away, sometimes they have sugar cravings depending on how they're doing it, and that could be a simple fix is into getting some good complex carbohydrates in there so your blood sugar is now steady,
and
maybe you start to
and not binging
eliminate
and not having that yo-yo diet cycle. So I guess to wrap this up, your take on keto, do it, don't do it.
I'll tell you, I'm not a fan of keto at all. Like I said, unless it's in a clinical setting to where I've seen, and that's just from what, my research, a lot of from my practice, from what I've seen personally working with a lot of different people, that's never something that I have found to be successful long-term, especially in the area of sports and fitness nutrition. There's certain medical conditions and clinically where, yes, it's something that we absolutely have to do.
Diseases,
so again, my take would be get into a lifestyle, work with, somebody that can help you, get educated. And again, you can go, if you feel better, a little lower carb, it doesn't mean you have to be in ketosis. It might just mean finding the good carbs for you, the timing, and having enough to where you see the results you want.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. You heard it right from the expert, Ally herself. We're all about lifestyle changes that are lasting, helping you achieve your best self and feeling and looking your best. So more to come from Ally and myself, and we really look forward to educating all of you guys.